this is something you're working on now, and this is the 60th anniversary cape for Underdog.
Yes, it is.
It's amazing.
So you made some progress since last time we saw you. Hello again. We have another topic with Suzanne, which is a topic that I know nothing about. So I'm going to try to follow along, but Suzanne's going to teach us about the difference between applique and embroidery. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so there's a lot to learn here, at least for me, because I know nothing.
Yeah. What do you want to attack first?
Most of the time you see on clothes, you see buttons, or some laces, pearls, braid, jewels. Yeah.
So this is something you're working on now, and this is the 60th anniversary cape for Underdog.
Yes, it is.
It's amazing.
So you made some progress since last time we saw you. You made a lot of progress since last time we saw you.
Okay, well, see, all these decorative articles were attached with thread. That's why it's called appliquing.
Okay, so applique you attach with thread.
You use thread to attach other objects
It's like sew.
in order to decorate a garment.
Okay, is that like sewing? It's like sewing with a needle?
Yes.
Okay. So this is applique.
No, that's, you got lace, loose pearls sewn on, jewels.
So jewels, bead, and lace would be applique.
Because you have to use the thread to attach the items.
That's it. Okay, and what's embroidery? How different is that?
Embroidery is decorating either a garment or maybe it's just a simple piece of cloth, like in colonial America, girls were always expected to make samplers, try out their different sewing skills on pieces of cloth, but so here we have cross stitch. That's probably the best form of embroidery. Embroidery is decorating with thread only.
You want to lift it up so people can see it? And this was an invitation for a wedding or something?
No, it's meant to be a souvenir sampler after the wedding with the bride's and groom's first names, the date of the wedding, and the bride's and groom's favorite colors, and then a third color that goes well with the other two.
And you did this as a job, or?
There was a couple that was supposed to collect this, but they never did. I was going to start a business that, I had the master pattern, and it would always have this border, but the colors would differ from piece to piece, and then the date and the bride's and groom's names.
So these two people ordered this, and they never showed up to pick it up?
I did make this one to be collected, but the couple never did. But you understand, if you look at it really closely, you see all the decoration is done with thread alone.
Yeah.
Yes.
What does it look like on the back? I noticed it was, I've never seen them on the back.
So let's pick that up too. Pick that up so people can see it. Okay, so each piece has one thread?
What?
Each one of these pieces is one thread, one long thread?
You decide what color you're going to use for what part of the work, and then you do it accordingly. Now, cross stitching is very tedious to get ready because what I have to use is what I need to use is graph paper.
Okay.
If you walk into a room where either the walls or the floors are all square tiles, that's your closest equivalent. I have to draw on the graph paper the stitches that I want, and the stitches are so small. I have to use a very fine graph paper. I'll draw all those little itty bitty X's. Can you try to get a close up of the
just lift
small X's?
Going through the camera, lift it up.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's funny because it reminds me a little bit of computer art, because computer art has pixels on it, and it's basically the little squares or crosses, if you will, and in a grid like that.
I've seen TV commercials where these complicated machines make coats of arms or company logos, but still, it's all done with thread alone.
Yeah. I have somebody that I know that actually does that and has a machine that, will stitch a hat or a shirt or something like that.
No, you did this by hand.
Yes, I did.
So how long how much time does it take to do this?
It depends on how big a piece of cloth you're using.
And this one, how long did it take you to do this?
It took several weeks.
Wow.
See, the most tedious part, you heard me talk about drawing the X's or whatever designs there will be on the crepe graph paper. Then I have to take my cloth, put the pattern on top, and a sheet of carbon paper in between. And then I have to be careful I don't miss any. I have to draw all those tiny X's again so that my pen goes through the graph paper and through the carbon paper, so that you get the print on the cloth.
Yeah. So when you say several weeks, how many hours a day or would something like this take? Because if it's several weeks, you didn't do it like 24 hours a day, right? So
no, I'd say, well, maybe 3 to 4 hours a day.
It's still a lot of work.
Yes.
So, and Alex, you said there are machines that do this now?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that makes sense because that takes such a long amount of time.
Yeah.
Okay, I hope now you understand the difference between embroidery, which is decorating with thread only, and appliquing, using thread to attach a whole lot of other objects.
Yeah, I would have used them interdependently. I would hit before.
So when you do your costumes, do you mix them up, or this is really just applique?
What do you mean mix them up?
Well, do you use this technique in your costumes, or this is separate in the costumes?
Have you embroidered costumes, or do you mostly use applique?
No, I embroider costumes. I think, if I can get up for a moment and get something that I'm working on now, that it's a larger garment and it's all embroidered, then you can see another popular form of embroidery stitch. Now here, this is a completed costume. I made it a number of years ago. This past October, I wore it in a Halloween parade in Williamstown, New Jersey, and I won 3rd place in costumes for it.
Oh, good place. I can see the work.
Well, it's a lot of roses. It was copied off a Hallmark bridal shower centerpiece. You had all these roses in shades of yellow. Sometimes they were white, and then there would also be the foliage in shades of green. Now, this is called satin stitch.
Yeah, because I noticed this is not cross stitch. This is
What?
It's not cross stitch at all.
No, it isn't cross stitch.
Very different.
A lot of work, Suzanne.
Yes. See, here's the pattern.
I can see that.
Yeah.
See, it's easier to trace a satin stitch pattern than a cross stitch pattern. You have all these open areas. When I was a little girl, I thought all those open areas you just ran chain stitch or something through all these areas, and then it was still wide open. But no, what you do is in each of these small areas, you go back, forth, back and 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 forth until the section's all filled in.
Can I flip up the bottom just so we can see the backing? Will we be able to see the back? Oh yeah.
See. So that must take tremendous amount of time to do that. Now, would this be able to be dry cleaned, or how would you clean it?
It's wash. I don't think dry cleaning is very safe. Several months ago, I had a fancy costume that was all decorated. That was all decorated appliques, but it was rather dirty in some areas. And a neighbor of mine, Richard, insisted that I take it to the laundromat. I was afraid to, because when I was a little girl, the rule was you shouldn't machine wash hand embroidered items. But he took this garment and put it in a mesh bag, and it washed in the delicate cycle.
Yeah, that makes sense, because you have some stains on this that probably should be cleaned, but it's a beautiful piece of work. So we should make sure that we get it clean. So do you think that's a safe way to do it? Put it in a mesh bag and then use a delicate cycle?
Yes.
Okay. Right. Well, thank you, Suzanne. That certainly explains the difference between two different types of work that you do.
Yeah.
And how you
Yes.
combine them in the costumes.
3 different types of work, maybe.
Yes.
Sorry.
It's a combination as well.
Okay, can you shut it off for a moment?
Well, are we done?
No, well, we're finished with this segment, but I want to check something on
Can you put that down for 1 sec? All right, it's fine. Go ahead. All right. Well, thank you, Suzanne. The TV is a distraction, I guess. But thank you for explaining the difference for us.